Good morning, everybody. Betty Brock Porter coming to you live. I am getting ready to can up some Cowboy candy this morning. I've been in the kitchen since a little after 6. I have some jars already up to temperature. They've been at 188 degrees for over 10 minutes in the canner. And I have this recipe, minus the jalapenos, in the pot right now. It is right now simmering for 5 minutes, and I'm going to add the jalapenos. And in this pot, I have my next batch of jars. I have 3, 6, 7, 8, 10 wide mouth pints and one small one. I always like to throw in an extra small jar in case there's stuff left, peppers left over in the pot, and I, can fill that one up. Plus the small ones are nice. Okay, I'm going to be adding the peppers to the pot soon, and then I'll show you guys how to can them up. Here's the mixture in the pot of the cider vinegar, the sugar, the turmeric, the celery seed, the cayenne, the garlic powder, everything that I showed you on there. Once you bring it to a boil, you do simmer it. It continues to boil. Right now, I'm going to start adding the jalapenos. The recipe I showed you is you add 1 pound of jalapenos per, but because we have so many jalapenos, and I've been doing this for so many years, I know that once I fill this pot up, that I'll have enough for my first batch. Okay, I'm going to finish filling this pot. Okay, I filled the pot, and I'm going to start mixing it up. And I want these peppers to cook in here for about 5 minutes, just until they get warm all the way through. Okay? Okay, guys, I am taking all my jars out of the canner. They're nice and hot, and you can see I'm ending up with one nice blue jar. So my jars are out of the canner. I call them cans. And next is we need to start filling these jars with these jalapenos that have been simmering for 5 minutes. This year, I've been very lucky. A lot of times, I have a hard time finding the red jalapenos. Mostly, I find green. And it's a struggle to find a couple of red ones to put in. Over the years, I've put in like a couple of Fresno, just for the red color, because at Christmas time, when I give these away to friends and family, the red is just so pretty in the jar. So I'm going to keep filling these jars up, and then I'll show you guys what to do next. Okay, guys, these 9 jars I have filled to the top with jalapenos. And I need to remove the air bubbles. I'm going to show you. I don't want to go sideways on here. When I take my spatula, this jar goes down a lot. So we're going to remove the air bubbles from all of these. And then we'll add some more jalapenos. And then we're going to top it with this amazing liquid. And then seal them up. Hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, you can see when I remove the air bubbles, these jars end up being just about halfway full. So what I'm going to do is I remove all the air bubbles. I'm going to top them off with some more peppers. Just going to add some more peppers to each jar. And then I'm going to top them with the rest of the liquid till it is a 1/2 inch to 3/4 of an inch. And then we're going to put them in the canner for 15 minutes. Okay, guys, back with the Cowboy candy. One thing you want to do before you put the tops on, you got to wipe these rims down because the mixture is kind of sweet. Well, it has the sugar in it, but of course, now that you cook it, and now you can see why. Look right here. See, there's a pepper seed. If you go to put your lid on there and try to can this, it's going to pop in the canner, or it's just not going to seal. So you're going to wipe all these rims down before we put the lids on. You can grab a lid. I keep my lids close by. They're warm. Some people do not do that anymore. I find that it is the best way because it's sterilized, and I don't get any non-sealing jars this way. Excuse me. And what you're going to do is you're going to finger tight. You want this as tight as you can just by your fingers, and then they're going to go into the canner. Okay, this is my last jar, and as I said, you want to get these finger tight, and we're going to start putting them back in the canner. Where they're going to process for 15 minutes once it gets to a full boil. One thing I want to tell you about, you can see in my jars, there's tons of pepper seeds. when you're cutting your jalapenos, you can take the seeds out. A lot of people will core them and just remove the seeds that way. I don't. My family and friends, they all like this hot. And this is so good with cream cheese and a pita chip or a cracker. My Aunt Linda likes them on a pretzel cracker. A friend of ours named Jim, he'll buy a jar from me and he'll put the whole thing in a pot of chili. Dave and I also like them like on a burger because we like a little heat. Okay, the jars are in. Put my temperature gauge in. We're going to wait for it to hit the temp and let it go 15 minutes. Okay, guys. You hear my timer went off. 15 minutes are up. I'm going to take these out of the canner. I'm going to set them over here on a towel. Always want to make sure you set them on a towel. Okay, let me get the rest and I'll show you when I'm... Okay, guys. First 9 jars are out of the canner. And they are beautiful. I am so lucky that these cases, well, we bought a whole bushel, ended up having a lot of red peppers in them. Normally, I don't get a lot of red jalapenos, as I said earlier. So remember, to make 2 pints of this, you need a 2/3 cup of cider vinegar, 2 cups of sugar, a tablespoon of mustard seed, a 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric, a 1/4 teaspoon of celery seed, 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne, and a teaspoon of garlic powder. You're going to bring that mixture to a boil, okay? Bring it to a boil, then you're going to simmer it for 5 minutes. When the 5 minutes are up, you're going to add your peppers for 5 more minutes. You just want the peppers to heat through. Then you're going to jar them up. And I think I said 3/4 of an inch to an inch head space or a 1/2 inch. I have corn on the brain because I really want to can some corn. For pickles and for Cowboy candy, you only need a 1/4 inch head space. I normally go between a 1/2 to a 1/4 when I do Cowboy candy. But anyways, that is my first batch of Cowboy candy. I have 9 wide mouth pints in another canner heating up and to get ready to jar up. And that's it. Here's the final picture of the recipe. And I hope y'all have a great day. I got a couple more hours here in the kitchen. Betty Brock Porter. I'll see you on the other side. Bye-bye.